What makes the American dream special? At a glance, one might notice an abundance of suffering, indignity, and violence. And yet, people have endured a multitude of hardships and dehumanization just for an opportunity to build a better life here. So there must be something special about the dream that people from all walks of life find value in it. Something so special that we have tolerated, overlooked, and excused some of the most vile and destructive behaviors in all of human history. So, what makes us different, if anything? Well, violence, exploitation, and conquest are painfully common throughout the history of man. How about the culture? Rigid hierarchies divided by wealth, race, gender, and other arbitrary distinctions? Nope, nothing unique there. Okay, what about love of country? For the glory of Rome, for God and country, Blut und Boden, Vive la France, America first. Nothing new here either. So far, this is all very familiar. Same dysfunction, new package, and yet we still reach for the dream. And I know why I do it. To me, the American dream is a working prototype of a new kind of human community. A community made of people from all over the world where we are united in our shared humanity. We, the people, finally have an opportunity to bring this dream to life. We can practice a few of the skills that help bring a dream like this one to life. Things we do, things we don't do, and how we go about all of it. In no particular order, for one thing, we got to be hard on systems and gentle on people. The reason is pretty obvious. Organizations, systems, countries, businesses, churches, these are all made up entities. And it's like a dance that we choose to do, or somebody wrote a symphony, but a symphony can't have any feelings. If you crash a car, it doesn't get depressed or feel the pain of a car crash. It's a car. It's just an invention, right? So too are our institutions and our organizations and corporations. They don't have real feelings. They can't experience fear or cold or hunger or death, not in the way that sentient beings do. So treating human beings and corporations or organizations the same is pretty silly. So, hard on systems, gentle with humans. Diversity gives us the unlimited abundance that can create and sustain a dream like the American dream. Part of how we know this is that embracing this kind of diversity has already empowered the United States to accomplish some of the most incredible feats in all of human history, just like other communities have around the world and across time. But to build a whole country devoted to that shared humanity and designed to use that diversity for the abundance it can provide, that's something new. And if we want a few examples of how this diversity works in our real lives right here in America, I had a few examples. I thought about Yellowstone with the wolves and the other aspects of the ecosystem there. If you're not familiar, there's this story about what happened some time ago with Yellowstone, where people were mismanaging the land and thought that they could take the wolves out of the equation of that ecosystem and have it be able to be used for a different purpose or whatever. But they didn't realize that each species played an important role in the ecosystem, and one of the most important, what they call keystone species, in this ecosystem of Yellowstone was these wolves. And without them there doing their distinct, unique part of the ecosystem, there was a cascade domino effect that actually caused a major ecosystem collapse and dramatically changed the landscape in the area. So, eventually, the people who were stewarding this got wise and decided to reintegrate wolves back into the park. And sure enough, everything else was able to kind of come back over time as well. And so having a respect and understanding for this delicate collaborative relationship between distinct parties within an ecosystem is a great way for us to capitalize on that in the human world and in human relationships. Another example that comes to my mind is in American football. So if you're like me and you grew up watching American football and the Super Bowl and all that, you know that on a football team, you got to have people of all different sizes and people of all different skill sets and people of all different strength and agility levels, and you don't want your wide receiver and your linebacker to have the same skills, the same attributes, right? So this is another example where a diverse team is a stronger team. Another example is the moon landing. That wasn't just three white guys hopped in a tin can and flew to the moon. No, there were thousands of people who worked together to help make that happen, from all different backgrounds, people from different countries, people from different political points of view. There were black women who were, dealing with the injustices that they were facing, at the same time as there was Werner von Braun, a Nazi who had moved to the United States after the war. And it was in collaboration of all these people and thousands more together that made something like landing on the moon possible, especially back in 1969. I think maybe one other example, we've seen in nature, we've seen in sports, we've seen in science here. Now let's look in our fiction and our stories, Avengers Endgame, right? Pretty simple, one of the most famous lucrative movies that's ever made. And what is it? What is their, the big Endgame there? Spoilers. Spoiler alert. The Avengers end up being an assemblage of people from all over the universe who have a shared stake in a safe and peaceful world that was being threatened by Thanos. And on his side, there's none of this diversity and color and vibrancy. It's all just one monochromatic gray, whatever, in the same way that, like, there's this mono culture that can happen in the Amazon when we're planting miles and miles of palm trees where there used to be lush, dense rainforest with a natural, diverse ecosystem. So everywhere we look, diversity is our strength, and the notion that we build a community that honors our shared humanity and uses our diversity for the strength that it can be, that's something that people are excited about too. That's something that people see value in. And finally, the American dream really gives us a sense of like a better world. We cannot build a better world out of violence, mind, body, or spirit. Only love will get the job done.